commercial. Okay, and we we sometimes think um, that we're here for a part of this life where we're working for something. Uh, Realistically, everything in the U.S. is owned by uh, the commercial. Okay, so things like your birth certificate, like your social, these things have things that have a much greater meaning behind them to commercialization of us. And um, it's quite amazing what we've truly done to ourselves, right? So uh, what we've got to do internally is mentally understand what's truly going on around us, right? So working with energy, working with yourself uh, is important. Working with the challenges that you face off against is important. Also, understanding the truth about things, the truth about the commercialization and how we are not, we are in debt still, okay? And a lot of people don't realize that, um, but it's true, okay? And, um, the commercialization of us was a part that truly opened me up. And so I want to talk about some skills that you can use to work on yourself, some things that you can do to focus past your challenges, focus past your insecurities, your parts of yourself that you might not think you can. And how are some of the ways that when we do that, it starts to open us up to being who we are. The thing is, we can't change the way that society will think. It has to come from within you. Your own mentality can become your best friend or it can become your enemy. And so when you look inside of yourself for the answers, when you look inside of yourself for the ability to be you, ultimately the question is, what are you seeking out after? What is it that will give your day light? What will give your day a piece of purpose and a piece of understanding? And how can you start to achieve that kind of knowledge? What processes can you do on a daily that will open up your mind to understanding the universe at a greater level, understanding the relationship with the energy within the universe? It's kind of interesting. I listened to a guy yesterday who was saying that that we're reduced to energy. Okay, reduced to energy. Question is, what are you? What is going on around you? What is gravity? What uh, is that a reduction or is that a massive source within the universe? What is the light spectrum? What is um, light? What is dark? So we're not reduced. We are energy. Okay? This whole thing is energy. You look at it biblically, you're going to go, let there be light. That is a light energy, okay? So there is no reducing of energy. There is no eliminating of universal law. There's no eliminating of understanding the relation in this universe. And biblically, it talks about different ranks. There's angel ranks within the biblical. There's also a place, glory be to the Most High. So when you are talking about reducing energy, it can't be destroyed. So there's no point in talking about reducing what already is great. And it shows a mentality of purpose when you utilize this universe and you respect the things within it. Yeah. So a lot of people don't understand or respect this universe. They don't understand how amazing the energy within one human being is. So let me go ahead and talk about that a little bit. Okay. It's an energy field. It's called the purple energy. Okay. And this energy field has a very special purpose. Okay. Anything that you deal with that deals with depth perception is a part of this energy field. Okay. It's a part of the daily to get that part going. You know, it's a part of your, what am I going to do today, okay? You wouldn't be able to do anything without all energy fields because they're already within you. That's not even talking about the external universe. We're just talking about the internal universe. The microverse, I guess you could call it. You know, the small, minute universe that's great, that's already inside of you. And so acknowledging that your internal universe exists, that you can utilize your energy inside of you, that you can utilize your purpose to overcome your challenges. This is not minute. This is understanding oneself, you know. And you know, I haven't seen the second Meg yet, but watching the first Meg made me realize, right? So a lot of people, thank you. A lot of people, they're like exactly like the Meg, okay? So the thing is this, it's that they see the ocean, okay? And then in the Meg, there's a level of the ocean that no one had ever explored, okay? This part of the ocean, nobody had ever gone, they had ever been to that depth. And the reason why was because you have to pass through a section or a barrier where you're trapped inside, okay? And they had to have equipment to get through this barrier. And as they entered this barrier, they saw things that they hadn't seen before, okay? They saw things that they didn't realize existed, okay? And this is how life is. Okay, what life will do is life will tell you, you think you know everything. You think you've got everything down. Let me show you this. Let me show you what it means for this challenge to come into your life. Let me show you what it means for this purpose to come into your life. And then once you've figured it out, you'll start to have a different kind of understanding, okay? You'll start to have a different kind of connection. You'll start to have a different kind of relationship with that part of your being. If you didn't have that kind of relationship, if you didn't have that kind of understanding, then you won't experience it, okay? And they experienced going down to greater depths than anyone had ever been. And at those depths, the stuff couldn't get through, okay? And so a lot of times we're not willing to go to that depth on ourselves. We're not willing to truly research and start to understand who we are inside. We want somebody else to figure that out for us. And the truth is, they can't do that. They can't be that for you. They can't give that to you. They can't be that person who will overcome your challenges. Those challenges are yours to overcome. And a lot of times we don't break through those barriers because we're not willing to put ourselves at the pressure or the depth it takes, right? So when we're at that depth, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if we're going to make it back. Sometimes, you know what I really enjoy is David Goggins. And I will tell you why. He might be a badass, okay? He might have a attitude, but you know what? He's not a quitter. You know what else? When I sat in that sauna for 5 hours, other people couldn't even believe it was possible. See, if you think inside of yourself that you can break barriers, if you think inside of yourself for the solution, you're not seeking for it on the outside. Okay? So your companion left you. So you're going to beat yourself up for what's happening, or are you going to go inwards? Your equipment broke down on you. So you're going to beat somebody else because your stuff didn't work perfect. No. Look inside of you. Pull yourself back together. Pull yourself to a place where you see it. So you might have lost your job. Okay. All right. Was that beneficial for your life? Was it something that was going to help you to grow? Did it help you understand you? And if it did, then it was meant to be there at that time in your life. It was meant to be in that place and in that purpose and in that path. See, a lot of people, we forget that this journey is not about doing it perfect. Hell, it's not even about doing it right. It's about doing it in a positive way that you have the ability that your universe inside starts to become what you're seeking out after, okay? But a lot of times we give up. We just throw in the towel. We say it's not possible. We give up on ourselves. We give up on, and it just takes a little bit. It takes a little bit of effort. It takes a little bit of believing in yourself and building your self-conscious and working through your challenges. See, I'm sitting here in the car driving, talking to you guys about my mentality, talking about how to do it, what it means to be yourself, you know? The other day I was driving somebody, and this person, I was talking to them about meditation. And when you're focused, your meditation becomes the knowledge. And the reflection of that knowledge is going to have other people see the things that you do as knowledge. Okay? So, as I'm sitting in the car, doing driving, started talking to her about meditation. And she said, yeah, I could see how your driving is a meditation. Okay. And I do spend hours umpteen hours driving. I do spend time putting mindset first and mentality in place, sitting in front of the screen, listening to multiple motivational speakers who speak about their stories. This is my story, okay? My story is that never give up. It's that never throw in the towel. Never give up on yourself. You might go through parts for other people's journey. You might go through parts for other people's path. You might go through parts of other people's story, but never give up on your story. Never give up on your dreams. Okay? Never stop focusing on what other people's opinions matter. Start focusing on what matters to you. Okay? You can never be the best copycat. You can never be the best at what other people want you to be. The minute you turn that into realizing that you are just you, that the only thing that you can do is be yourself, the only thing that you can do is use your gifts, your talents, your abilities to focus on the knowledge inside of you, to truth, and look, hey, this isn't going right. This isn't going in a way of positivity for my life. So that way you can. So that way you can start finding those bearings. It's like if you want to achieve a goal, but you got no map in achieving that goal, how good is that goal going to be? Okay. So another thing that David Goggins talked about that I really enjoyed about that guy was internal dialogue. Okay. How do you build an internal dialogue? What does it mean to have an internal dialogue? How do you grow your internal dialogue? Well, here's the answer. You got to sit down with yourself and you got to start answering those questions that I can utilize. How can I become the person I want to be? What things can I do? And it's not, the amazing part, it's not the big stuff that we mess up on, okay? Although there's a lot of that have made big mistakes. It's generally the little things. There's a U.S. Navy captain who talks about how important it is to make your bed every day in the Navy. Okay, hardened Navy SEALs. Okay, and what he's talking about is process by process by process. Okay, I was taught by a general manager. I was taught by a general manager. You hearing me? Do not expect results unless you're willing to write them down. Okay. You hearing what I'm saying? You hearing what I'm saying? It means that if you're not willing to send a message to your customer, do not expect a tip. If you're not willing to come up with a procedure, okay, don't expect that you're going to get the bid. If you're not willing to put in that part of your purpose, that part of your journey, if you're not willing to spend that kind of a time on your path, you don't deserve the results. So if you're not putting yourself in check, if you're not putting yourself in a place where you got to go clean your car after you've taken multiple people, where you're checking your air pressure, you hearing what I'm saying? Checking your altitude if you're a pilot. I had a couple pilots the last few days. If you're not doing those things, if you're not doing that pilot checklist, that driver checklist, if you're not checking off those things, you're not putting in the time, don't expect the results, okay? Because those results, they come from utilizing process, from embracing process, from perfecting your craft, from being called the knowledge and the reflection of meditation, okay? And so how do we start to build? How do we start to take the challenges that we have and turn them into a positive process, a positive purpose? And a lot of people, they go to jobs that they're robbing themselves of universal yield. In this field called landscaping, they get fined if they don't take care of it. And you always got this guy. This guy got 20 people together to work for him for 10 or 15 or 20, $30 an hour. Okay. This guy saw the process. This guy could take that $1,000 and turn it into $10,000. How we could take that $10,000 and turn it to $100,000. Take that $100,000, spend 50 of it, buy equipment, and make $200,000. Now the guy's working on $1 million. Okay, so are we able to take our situations? Are we able to take our challenges? Are we able to take our stuff and to see what we're valuable? That we are valuable, that our value is greater, that we can magnify, that we can multiply. See, a lot of people, okay, and a lot of times we don't learn how to minimize and maximize and minimize what people convert broken focus into, which is called stress. Okay, the stress that the knowledge inside, okay, you hearing what I'm saying? So you take two people, and both these people have the same job. Both the people have the same amount of income. Both the people have the same amount of challenges. One of them ends up with $1 million. The other one ends up with nothing. Let me ask you a question. Did they have the same job? What do they do with it? What are you doing with the things that you have? Not what you don't have. So I have a 2012, so this O2 sensor goes out, so I start kicking about 9 to 12, sometimes 15 miles per gallon. Okay. So this vehicle, I got it from auction. Okay. And bring it in there, spark plugs are all shot. Everything is like, basically they didn't even replace it once, right? And so I'm sitting there and I have two broken down vehicles, and I hear David Goggins say, your legs might fall off, but never give up. And I thought to myself, I said, all right then, I get it. Had oil leaking everywhere, had no chance, no nothing. I can do this. I can get this going. Took it to a buddy of mine. We pulled the O2 sensor. The code shut off. Okay. I'm driving right now that vehicle. I'm speaking to you guys about mentality, about focus, and I'm living it too. The difference is the person who continues to focus will manifest. You hearing what I'm saying? They're going to manifest what they're looking for in their life. And if you're not manifesting your dreams, if you're not manifesting your goals, if you're not manifesting, then you're dying. And the only thing that we should be focusing on is surviving. Surviving ourselves, finding the way to use our blessings, to reduce our stress levels, to reduce our challenges, to utilize part of who we are inside, utilize that being, utilize that purpose. And I'm sitting here talking about that because guess what? I'm about to go get my car cleaned because I'm after it. When you guys watch things like David Goggins, he's following his procedures. You got to follow your processes in your mind if you truly want it. If you truly want it, then you will find a way, right? So you'll have 3 phones in a car on your way to go get your car washed, speak in your mind. You want to be a professional speaker one day and you want to be in front of millions of people, then you got to practice. If you want to be a professional speaker and you want to talk in front of millions of people, you got to put in the time, the effort, the ability. So I'm sitting here right now getting ready to take this vehicle through the car wash. And I'm thinking to myself, it's a good day. It's a positive day. This thing is great. This thing is beautiful. These challenges, these things that I go through, you know what I truly enjoy? You know what I truly enjoy?